really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
I'm gonna go to every road game, no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not.
Just moments ago, Sophie Cunningham and Lexy Hull dropped a bombshell about Caitlin Clark, and the entire basketball world can't stop talking. This isn't just another routine update. It's the kind of news that leaves fans stunned, rivals curious, and even teammates caught off guard. From their unshakable bond to moments of fierce loyalty, these three have already built a story that's bigger than the game itself. But this latest announcement? It changes everything, and you won't believe what it means for Caitlin Clark's future. Cunningham and Hull dropped major news on Caitlin Clark. It happened just moments ago, an announcement so unexpected that it sent shockwaves rippling through the basketball world. Sophie Cunningham and Lexy Hull stood side by side, their expressions carrying both pride and seriousness, as they revealed news about Caitlin Clark that no one saw coming. This wasn't one of those typical media updates or routine press conference statements that fans have learned to expect during the season. No, this was different. This was the kind of revelation that makes headlines before reporters have even finished typing, the kind that ignites conversations in locker rooms, living rooms, and even rival team huddles. From the moment their words left their lips, you could feel the ripple effect. Social media feeds lit up like wildfire. Comment sections overflowed with shock, support, and a million questions. It wasn't just die-hard Indiana Fever fans reacting. WNBA supporters from every corner of the league were weighing in. Coaches, analysts, and even a few veteran players from opposing teams hinted at being caught off guard. The surprise wasn't only in what was said, but in who was saying it, and the timing of it all. Because let's be honest, Sophie Cunningham and Lexy Hull aren't just any teammates in Caitlin Clark's orbit. They're more like her on-court bodyguards, her emotional support system, and her fiercest defenders both in the game and in life. Over the past year, these three have built a connection that goes far beyond the hardwood. It's been forged in the heat of competition, strengthened through personal challenges, and cemented by countless acts of loyalty that fans have come to admire. Think back to when Clark first entered the WNBA spotlight. Every rookie faces a whirlwind, tough games, media pressure, and the unspoken expectation to prove themselves every single night. But Caitlin's rise wasn't just about her own grit. It was about the people around her who refused to let her stand alone. Sophie, with her fearless style and refusal to back down from anyone, became Clark's shield in moments of tension. Lexy, with her consistency and quiet determination, became her anchor, a steady hand in the chaos of a fast-paced season. These aren't the type of bonds you stumble upon by accident. They're earned moment by moment. Every time Sophie stepped in when someone fouled Clark too hard, every time Lexy's hand reached out to pull her up off the court, every time the three of them shared a laugh after a draining game, it all built toward a trust that's hard to shake. And that's exactly why this announcement has everyone so rattled. Because when people so closely knit together make a public declaration, especially one involving a player like Caitlin Clark, it's rarely without reason. Details are still unfolding, but what makes this moment even more fascinating is the way Cunningham and Hull presented it. There was no hype music, no flashy marketing buildup. Instead, it was raw, direct, and personal, delivered in a way that made you feel like you were being invited into an inner circle, a space where real feelings and decisions live. It's the kind of delivery that leaves more questions than answers. Was this planned for weeks? Or was it a spur-of-the-moment choice, driven by something urgent? Was it about Clark's career on the court, or something deeper, maybe even off it? And why now, in the middle of a season already packed with storylines, rivalries, and unpredictable turns? If you've followed this trio closely, you'll know they've weathered plenty together. Injuries, heartbreaking losses, personal struggles, they've been there for each other every time. They've celebrated awards, stood side by side in tough press moments, and turned everyday team life into a testament of unity. That's why fans can't shake the feeling that whatever was announced today isn't just another sports headline. It's a piece of something bigger, something that could shape what's ahead not just for Caitlin Clark, but for the Indiana Fever as a whole. And make no mistake, the timing couldn't be more charged. The Fever are in a critical stretch. The league's competition is fiercer than ever, and Caitlin's presence, both on the scoreboard and in the spotlight, has been a driving force for the team. Whatever this new development is, it has the potential to shift dynamics, alter strategies, and maybe even redefine what this season will become. It's this unpredictability, paired with the emotional depth of their friendship, that keeps everyone glued to every update, every interview, every subtle reaction. Because when Sophie Cunningham and Lexy Hull speak about Caitlin Clark, they aren't just talking as teammates. They're speaking as people who have shared sweat, victories, and setbacks with her. That's why their voices carry weight. And that's why today's revelation feels so monumental. Now, the question on everyone's mind is simple, but impossible to ignore. What's the full story here, and how will it reshape what comes next? The answer could be game-changing. But how deep does it go? And what hidden truth could it be protecting? Stay tuned. The unbreakable connection. Under the bright lights of the WNBA, where every game feels like a battle and every point is hard-earned, Sophie Cunningham has stood out not only as a fierce competitor, but also as a loyal protector. Her reputation as a tough defender and relentless hustler is well known, but what truly set her apart this season was a moment that had nothing to do with scoring or stats. Earlier in the year, when Caitlin Clark was fouled hard in a heated matchup, Cunningham's reaction was immediate. She was one of the first to step in, making it crystal clear that no one would mess with her teammate without answering to her. That act didn't just fire up the crowd. It earned her praise from fans and, ironically, a fine from the league. Yet, for Cunningham, defending her team was worth far more than any dollar amount. From that day, many fans began to see her differently. She wasn't just a player who gave her all on the court. She was the emotional shield for her teammates, the one who would stand tall when others might back down. Her presence became a vital part of the Indiana Fever's identity, shaping a culture of loyalty, trust, and unwavering support. Younger players, especially Caitlin Clark and Lexy Hull, began to look to her not just for plays and pointers, but for reassurance, guidance, and that unshakable, we've got your back energy that every athlete craves. Cunningham's role evolved into something deeper, more like a big sister who could push them to be their best, while also knowing when to simply listen. She understood the highs and lows of the sport, and she made sure no one on her team ever felt they were facing those moments alone. And fans noticed. Soon, the growing friendship between Cunningham, Clark, and Hull became one of the most talked-about storylines of the season. To celebrate this unbreakable trio, fans came up with a playful but meaningful nickname, Tres Leches. Borrowed from the name of a sweet, rich dessert, it perfectly captured the mix of joy, comfort, and togetherness the three shared. It wasn't just a catchy phrase, it became a badge of honor. Cunningham herself leaned into the fun, wearing a special shirt featuring cartoon versions of the three players. It wasn't long before the shirt went viral among fans, not just for its humor but for the warmth it symbolized. Tres Leches wasn't only about laughs, it stood for unity. It was a reminder that in the Fever's locker room, every win was celebrated together, and every hardship was faced side by side. Whether they were riding the high of a thrilling victory or shouldering the weight of personal loss, the trio remained solid, unshaken, and tightly knit. The season tested that bond in ways no one expected. Caitlin Clark, fresh off winning a major award, was forced to miss an event she had been eagerly anticipating due to circumstances beyond her control. Lexy Hull faced heartbreak at home, saying goodbye to a beloved pet who had been part of her life for years. Through it all, Cunningham became the emotional anchor, keeping spirits steady and morale high. She was the one offering quiet words of comfort, showing that leadership isn't just about commanding the court, it's also about knowing when to simply be there. Their story resonated deeply with fans because it wasn't just about basketball, it was about humanity. It was about the simple but powerful truth that strength isn't always measured in points scored or games won. Sometimes it's measured in the way you pick up a teammate when they stumble, how you stand by them when the noise is loud, or how you remind them that they're never alone. Social media lit up with messages of support as fans across the country sent love, encouragement, and admiration for the way the Fever women carried themselves through challenges. These moments painted a richer, more meaningful picture of what this team represents. Yes, they play hard. Yes, they chase victories. But what makes them unforgettable is how they treat each other, how they protect, encourage, and uplift without hesitation. It's a quality that transforms a group of athletes into something far more rare and powerful: a family. As the season progresses, Caitlin Clark continues her recovery with determination. Lexy Hull approaches competitions with both grit and poise, and Sophie Cunningham remains the glue that binds them together. And in the stands, fans aren't just cheering for basketball anymore. They're cheering for a bond that feels indestructible, for a team that shows winning is about so much more than the scoreboard. Beyond the court friendship, when loyalty becomes a language of its own, what hidden stories still wait to be uncovered? The next reality will shock you. The friendship, fueling the Indiana Fever's rise. When people think about the WNBA, the first images that come to mind are usually the electrifying plays, the last-second shots, and the high-stakes battles on the hardwood. But hidden behind the intensity of competition is another side of the league, one filled with laughter, friendship, and lighthearted moments that remind us these athletes are human beings with vibrant personalities, not just numbers on a stat sheet. And few players show that balance between competitive fire and genuine camaraderie better than Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and Lexy Hull of the Indiana Fever. This trio's chemistry has quickly become one of the most talked about aspects of the Fever's culture. On the court, they're relentless, pushing one another to perform at their best. But off the court, they reveal a completely different dynamic, full of inside jokes, supportive moments, and playful teasing that fans can't get enough of. One incident in particular lit up WNBA social media. Sophie Cunningham and Lexy Hull decided to share a relaxed TikTok video during their downtime. The clip showed them lounging poolside in what fans cheekily called mermaid mode, a scene that felt worlds away from the adrenaline of game day. It was fun, carefree, and offered a rare peek into who they are when the jerseys come off. The video might have stayed a small inside joke among teammates, but once it reached outlets like The Sun, Clutch Points, and Yahoo Sports, it exploded. And in typical Caitlin Clark style, she couldn't resist joining the fun. With a perfectly timed jab, she commented, "Focus on basketball." The remark had just the right mix of humor and accountability, proving that even in her downtime, Clark's competitive edge never truly switches off. This kind of banter is nothing new for them. Another viral moment came when Essentially Sports showcased a meme-worthy image of Cunningham and Hull in motion, whether running, climbing, or mid-celebration, while Clark trailed just behind them. Fans quickly flooded the internet with captions, some teasing Clark for being the spectator, others celebrating the trio's unshakable bond. Intentional or not, the snapshot captured exactly what makes their friendship so unique. They can roast each other without a hint of malice because it's built on a foundation of trust and mutual respect. These moments matter more than they might seem. Life in the WNBA is grueling. Constant travel, packed schedules, and the relentless demand to perform at the highest level can weigh on anyone. In such an environment, those bursts of laughter and shared jokes aren't just passing distractions, they're lifelines. They help maintain balance, lift morale, and strengthen the bonds that can make or break a season. And in professional sports, That chemistry often turns into better communication, stronger defense, and sharper instincts when it matters most. But it's not just humor that keeps them close. There's a deep admiration for each other's abilities. Sophie Cunningham, in particular, has been vocal about her respect for Caitlin Clark's talent. In an interview covered by the Times of India, Cunningham compared Clark to none other than Diana Taurasi, a living legend of the sport, known for her skill, leadership, and mental toughness. This wasn't casual praise. It was a deliberate statement that placed Clark among the elite. Coming from a veteran like Cunningham, it meant more than just a compliment. It was recognition of Clark's basketball IQ, confidence, and competitive spirit, even in the early stages of her career. That kind of endorsement carries weight, especially in a locker room where respect isn't handed out lightly. For Clark, it's not only validation of her place on the team, but also a sign that her leadership qualities are already being noticed. For the Fever as a whole, it's proof that they're building a culture where experience and fresh talent can push each other forward. Of course, this isn't a one-way street. Hull and Cunningham don't hesitate to poke fun at Clark when she gets laser-focused, and Clark seems to relish firing back. Yet beneath the sarcasm and playful jabs is a shared commitment to each other's success, on and off the court. Whether it's a poolside video, a meme exchange, or public praise, every interaction between them paints a picture of teammates who genuinely have each other's backs. Fans love this side of sports just as much as the wins, when players drop the act, reveal their friendships, and build something bigger than stats. For the Fever, these bonds may be the hidden edge that drives success. Beyond headlines, the real story is in their laughter, teamwork, and support, the moments off the court that make the strongest plays. And yet, not every friendly competition stays friendly for long, especially when those lighthearted moments spill over into game night rivalries that lead to arguments. But how far can a little fun go before it sparks something bigger? Keep watching to find out. The game night rivalries. When the Indiana Fever take the court, all eyes are on their precision, teamwork, and ability to perform under pressure. Every dribble, pass, and shot is calculated, leaving fans captivated by their skill and determination. But away from the bright lights and roaring crowds, Caitlin Clark, Lexy Hull, and Sophie Cunningham face a very different kind of competition. One that swaps sneakers for socks, basketballs for game cards, and buzzer beaters for playful banter. During the off-season, these three teammates, along with others at times, gather for game nights that are equal parts fun and fierce rivalry. The living room becomes a different kind of arena, where a game of Settlers of Catan or Monopoly Deal can spark laughter, heated debate, and surprisingly intense strategic battles. Even Gang of Four, a card game that seems simple at first glance, can bring out the competitive streak in each of them, proving that the drive to win doesn't switch off when they leave the court. For Lexy Hull, these game nights are a mix of hilarity and subtle chaos. We're not flipping the board over, but cards are getting thrown down on the table. We're arguing, you can't do this, you can't do that. But it's fun. It's all fun and games, she told Athlon Sports. It's easy to imagine the scene. Animated gestures, mock outrage over an unexpected move, bursts of laughter breaking the tension, and a room full of friends fully engaged in the moment. The energy, however, comes not just from the games themselves, but from the personalities in the room. Caitlin Clark, known for her competitive edge on the court, carries that same fiery spirit into these game nights. Hull explains, Caitlin, her love comes in that jokes and trash talk form 99% of the time, which is great. Whether she's teasing a risky Catan trade or poking fun at Hull's strategy and Monopoly Deal, Clark injects an electrifying mix of humor and challenge that keeps everyone on their toes. These sessions are more than just entertainment. They act as a subtle, unspoken form of team building. Board games require planning, foresight, and adaptability, echoing the mental skills that players rely on during crunch time basketball. Every blocked move in Catan or surprise win in Monopoly Deal is a miniature exercise in strategic thinking, risk assessment, and quick decision-making, the same qualities that make a difference in tight fourth-quarter situations on the court. Equally important is how these evenings reveal different sides of their personalities. In the gym, their roles are clear. Clark might be the scorer, Hull the strategist, Cunningham the playmaker. But around a game table, those dynamics shift. Hull may suddenly dominate with clever moves, while Clark finds herself reacting defensively for once. Watching each other succeed or fail spectacularly outside the familiar rhythm of basketball helps them understand one another on a deeper, more personal level. Sports psychologists often note that off-court relationships can directly impact on-court performance. Laughter and lighthearted teasing build trust. Trust strengthens communication, and communication enhances teamwork. In a league where the difference between victory and defeat is often razor-thin, the bonds formed over game nights can translate into sharper coordination and better instincts during real games. Fans adore hearing about these moments because they offer a glimpse into the human side of professional athletes. It's one thing to watch a highlight reel. It's another to see Clark, Hull, and Cunningham arguing over a Catan settlement, joking over a card trick, or celebrating an unexpected win. These glimpses make the players relatable, showing them as friends and competitors who know how to enjoy each other's company just as much as they value their shared pursuit of victory. For Clark, Hull, and Cunningham, game nights provide a perfect blend of fun, challenge, and bonding. They get a mental break from the physical grind of basketball while keeping their competitive instincts sharp. And while a win in Monopoly Deal won't make the standings, the teamwork, intuition, and laughter it fosters may very well show up in the next close game, through a well-timed pass, a clever play, or a decisive assist. And that's the power of true teamwork. Caitlin, Lexy, and Sophie showing us that loyalty, care, and friendship can shine even brighter than any scoreboard. But if this bond is so strong, what secret moments off the court keep it unbreakable? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.